Hello, Internet. I'm me. And this is Kamen Rider Episode 4 review. This episode, let me just get to the chase. Cut to the chase right here. This episode, I have it subbed. It's in the description. Go wild. This episode is a 7.5 out of 10. This is a very average episode, y'all. It's a very paint-by-the-numbers episode, almost. And once you get the characters down, you know how this episode is going to play out. This episode almost has no intrigue to it whatsoever. The characters are pretty interesting as usual. Not very engaging, though. To a point where this is my problem with this season thus far. This is only 4 episodes in, people. But thus far, this is my only problem with the whole series. My main problem with this season, these characters are interesting, but not engaging. It's like if you read the synopsis to a movie on the back of a VHS or DVD. Sorry, I'm a little vintage here. Of a DVD, and you thought the plot synopsis was kind of interesting, pretty cool, and then you just kind of went, but it's nothing that really grabs my attention. It's pretty interesting, don't get me wrong, but whatever. You put it back. You forget about the names of the characters, and you forget about the title. You almost forget everything but the title and the synopsis, because you really didn't care. You read the synopsis, and it gives you the name of the character, and it gives you the name of the actors, but you're just kind of like, guy in space and fights evil, goes on tangent, blah, whatever. Sounds interesting, yeah, but I'm not going to really watch it. It's not very engaging. I really wish it was more engaging, and I'm pretty sure it will be when the season moves on. But for now, this episode is pretty average. It's a paint-by-numbers episode, and I can pretty much give you the ending, and you get pretty much the gist of the whole episode. Chameleon gets defeated, no new switches are added, the popular girl becomes friends with Genji, and joins the Kamen Rider Fourze. Sorry, Kamen Rider Club. There you go. The whole episode in a nutshell. You didn't even need to see it. This episode I really wish was more, but every time I watch it. I watch this thing 4 times in a row, and I kind of went, why can't I remember more about this episode? Why? There are a few highlights, like the final fight scene with the Chameleon using the popular girl as a hostage. And see, I don't even know the sidekicks, and I don't like that about this episode too. It's too predictable, way too predictable. First episode where the Orion Zodiac was, of course, the lackey of the football player. I was like, yeah, I'll give that a pass. This is episode 2, episode 1. Who cares? It's starting out. Let's move on. Here, it's the sidekick and lackey of the popular girl. You pretty much just changed the genders, and I'm just like, well, still starting out, so this could totally be different. And I'm pretty sure it will, because the next episode preview is like, well, who the hell would hate this guy? But you'll see that when you watch the episode. But, you know, that episode looks promising. But for now, the only things that actually make this episode shine outside the norm is actually the final fight with the Chameleon using the popular girl as a hostage. How creatively they use that situation in the fight scene, and pretty much the sidekick in general, about how the actress and how she's able to switch from this submissive person to this manipulative and dark character out of nowhere. And I love that. And that was very interesting to me, and those are the only 2 things that really shined out of this episode. Other than that, this episode is pretty average and almost could be thrown up there with filler, which I really don't want to do. But it could almost be thrown up there in filler because almost nothing happens. The first part, you meet you first time meet the Zodiarcs, the real Zodiarcs, the ones who are giving the switches here, and you actually see what they can do. Here, they don't show up, and they're only referenced, and that's it. Oh, and one more thing that does shine out in this episode, there are three. The first two that I mentioned, and this one that I thought was pretty interesting is that I got to see Genji actually train with the Hopper switch. Training to get himself better with a weapon that he's not familiar with, instead of just using the weapon in battle and hoping it works. Like, for me, it was like this in Kamen Rider O's. I'm like, dude, in the forms you're taking, like, oh, crap. Damn, no. Like, Tanjiro. I know he's supposed to, like, integrate these fighting styles of a bird, and then of, Gatakiri, you know, more of a Muay Thai style with the slashes, but I'm questioning how he knows these styles, and how he has been well trained to use these styles in a fight. I've never seen him train with these abilities. I've never seen him discover it and then train with these weapons. He just does. And I've never really liked that about Kamen Rider, where some of the weapons or powers, they just, oh, I'm an expert at it now. No need to train with it or anything like that. It's just, bam, I know what I'm doing. Which I always just thought was weird and out of place. And it's always good to see that, and it's actually pretty good to see an actual Kamen Rider training with one of his gadgets or weapons to figure it out, to make a new technique, or make it a little more of a dangerous weapon. Because it kind of says, I don't rely on the power to just get me by. It's not, oh, now that I have a new switch, I'm more powerful. Now I'm more powerful. It's like if he never got any more switches, he could be fine because he'd train with the new switches, with the old switches he has, and can show himself more competent. But other than that, this episode could be almost forgotten. But this is again, I say 7.5 because it's not quite an 8 out of 10, but it's not an average. It just kind of rises above an average episode. I wish there was more here, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more later on this season, but for now, not much. But I can't wait until I see episode 5, where, well, you'll see. Until then, everybody, peace.